Happy Thursday. Welcome to Capital Investment. Let's see here. We got a busy day ahead, so we're going to get right into it. How many minutes do we have? How many minutes?
4.
Okay, every testifier, including questions from members, gets 4 minutes today. We got a tight ship to keep on track. First up, we are going to have Leader Niska, Representative Niska, up to present his bill for the city of Rogers. Welcome to the committee. Representative Niska, you may proceed.
Thank you, Chair Franzen, Chair Lee, and members of the committee. I'm honored to offer this on behalf of Anoka County and Hennepin County communities across the Mississippi River. As long as I've been aware, we've been talking about this mythical Ramsey-Dayton bridge that needs to be built, and now is the time that it really needs to be built before it gets too late to build this very necessary river crossing over the Mississippi River. So I do have with me the city administrator from the city of Ramsey. The goal with the amendment that was posted would be to give a grant to the city of Ramsey, but to work with those communities to study this. So there was some mix-up in the drafting with the revisor's office initially, and I think the title says Rogers, but it is to go to the city of Ramsey. So I do have with me Brian Hagan, the city administrator from Ramsey, to present on the bill as well.
All right, welcome to the committee, Mr. Hagan. You may state your name for the record and proceed.
All right, good morning. Brian Hagan, City Administrator in Ramsey. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Appreciate the time today that you're giving us to hear about this bill. I believe you all got a color handout of what the project is. I think that's a great one-pager that really identifies what we're asking for and why there is the need. Ultimately, we're asking for state support on a first phase of a Tier 1 and 2 environmental impact statement. This ultimately would allow us to officially identify and preserve right-of-way for a new Mississippi River crossing, and really much bigger than that. It's a regional transportation network going through, the city of Dayton, who's just growing immensely nowadays, Champlin, Maple Grove. How does all that tie together nicely? The study's needed. Again, I noted the sustained growth that we're seeing. We anticipate in the Northwest metro area continued growth by 2040. 20+ thousand growth in population amongst our communities. Right now, we're seeing 2 to 3.5 hours of congestion daily on these major roadways at the river crossings at 101, 169, and 610. And they're estimated to be about 50% over their capacity. These highways, they are major freight movement, part of that transportation, and it's ultimately recognized as a great traveled corridor up to the northern part of Minnesota. So without the coordinated regional level plan, local governments and MnDOT, we're left reacting to the high crash rates that are occurring. We're looking to create that long-term solution. We're going to continue to experience the growth just because there's the farm field in the Northwest metro area. So as that continues to develop, we're going to be restricted on what we have for the location of this corridor. What the transportation study will do, it's going to expand on the 2021 feasibility study. It's going to create the technical foundation needed to protect future regional transportation corridor investment areas. And then it's also going to be a phased, fiscally realistic project pipeline. The state investment is critical because it is regional and statewide travel, freight movement corridor. And MnDOT, we know that they're going to be a partner in this. Ramsey's ready to take the money and lead the study process, but we're going to bring in a bunch of community stakeholders and make sure that everything's well vetted. Thank you.
All right, members, do we have any questions? Seeing none? Oh, Representative Koznick.
Thank you. I presume this is probably a higher priority than the Anoka Run River Dam is one question. And then the other question is, in this study, will it include the impacts and required offsets for greenhouse gas mitigation efforts in doing a new crossing?
Mr. Hagan.
Say that again?
You may proceed.
Yeah, our intent is to work with a knowledgeable firm Bolton and Mink they were a big part of the Highway 10 projects that recently happened in Anoka and Ramsey, and we're prepared to look at anything we're required to. That will be a big part of the project, but most importantly, we just feel like it's needed. The crossings right now are in Anoka and Elk River and nothing in between.
Chair Kosnick?
Thank you. As Leader Niska knows, I grew up in the same city, and when I go up there now, the growth, and I can't even drive by, I have to use my GPS because it looks so different than when I was there, so I understand the large capacity needs and the growth in that area, so thank you for bringing this bill. I know it's important to that area.
Thank you. Any further questions? All right, Chair Niska, to your bill.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to present. As Representative Kosnick knows from growing up in that area, this is a long-anticipated project. It's long overdue, and it's finally the time to do it. And if we don't do it now, the development in that area might make it even more expensive to find the property and ability to do it again in the future. It's a very long stretch of Highway 10 and the Mississippi River that's very important to transportation in Minnesota, and appreciate the opportunity to present it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for testifying today. We appreciate your time. Thanks for making your way to the Capitol. Next up, we have Representative Robbins. Representative Robbins, you have two bills up, one for Greenfield and one for Medina.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Welcome to the committee, Madam Chair, and you may proceed with your testimony.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair and members. Today we're presenting HF 4680, which is a bonding bill for the city of Greenfield. It's for a wastewater treatment facility and very much in need in our community. And I'll turn it over to the mayor, Mayor Rohr, and then we also have our city administrator.
Mayor, you may state your name for the record and proceed. Welcome.
Nick Rail, Mayor of Greenfield. Greenfield is a city in the westernmost Hennepin County of about 3,000 people, and we have a small area serviced by a public sewer system. 95% of our city is actually rural, where people have their own private septic systems. Our sewer system is about 25 years old and is failing. There's safety concerns for the workers that have to go into the facility, and there are risks, increasing risks of a failure that would cause a environmental discharge into the Crow River and ultimately the Mississippi River. We need to do something about our sewer system. Our original estimate to fix this sewer system was $6.9 million. We have since conducted a facility plan study and learned that actual replacement is more like 11 to 20 million. But in that facility study, we also identified another way to deal with this problem, which would be much cheaper and stay within budget, which is to combine forces and work with other cities to more regionalize our sewer system in our facility. Our project's a need, not a want. We can't afford to not do this. This project will also support housing in western Hennepin County. We currently have a 140-acre site that is being master planned soon for up to 98 townhomes, 350 apartments, 201 single-family homes, and 30 acres of commercial. If we were to go forward with this development without our upgrade, we'd be at max capacity and we'd still have this failing system. Again, I think this project's a wise use of our funds because Greenfield has identified efficient ways to use public money to solve this problem. And again, it is a need, not a want. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Members, any questions? Yes, Representative Ryer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for bringing this, Madam Chair. Question, you mentioned regionalization. Could you please say a little more about that because it's not really touched on in the one-pager? Thanks.
So
Mayor?
the,
Mayor,
what's I,
you have to
I'm
go through the
sorry.
chair.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Chair Franzen. The study identified that the replacement cost would be 10 to 20 million, 11 to 20 million. But if we work with neighboring cities, we can build the same infrastructure for the 6 million and then use economies of scale of existing infrastructure to keep the cost below the 11 million and more to the projected 6.9 million.
Representative Ryer, and then we're running out of time.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Mayor. So other cities have committed funds to take their part of the 11 to 20 million?
Existing.
Mayor?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, Franzen, the other cities have existing facilities.
Okay. All right, Chair Robbins, to your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, members, for considering this. So the intention is to work with other cities, just to address Representative Ryer's point, but they have to get through all their city council processes, but that's an ongoing discussion, and it's going really well. So we appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you so much for presenting, and thank you for making your way down to the Capitol. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Representative Robbins for Medina. To your bill.
Thank you, members. This is HF 4047, and this will provide funds for a water treatment plant expansion in the city of Medina. I have with me the Mayor, Todd Albers, and our city administrator, Ms. Barnhart, and I will turn it over to the mayor.
Mayor, you may state your name for the record and proceed. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Todd Albers, Mayor of the City of Medina. So the City of Medina is requesting $2.95 million to expand and upgrade its existing water treatment plant in order to meet the future water demand and address elevated manganese levels in the water supply. The project will increase the plant's capacity from 2 million gallons per day to 3 million gallons per day by adding a third gravity filter and replacing existing filter media. This expansion is necessary to meet the projected maximum daily demand beyond 2040 and ensure reliable treatment performance. In addition to the new filter, the project includes a range of improvements aimed at extending the facility's service life and enhancing the overall operations. These upgrades include a detention tank improvements, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, system upgrades, equipment replacement, some minor architectural updates, and the installation of a new floor surface coating across approximately 6,200 square feet of the 7,700 square feet facility. A small addition of about 50 square feet will accommodate a walkway between the existing and new filter. The total estimated project cost is $2.95 million, which includes a 10% contingency and a 25% for indirect costs, such as engineering, legal, and administrative expenses. Funding for the project is expected to come from a combination of the city's water capital fund through connection fees with new developments, water utility funds that are assessed user fees, and then this request for state capital budget funding. A key driver of this project is the need to reduce manganese levels in the city's water supply. According to the Minnesota Department of Health, high manganese exposure can negatively affect memory, attention, motor skills, and child development. Most of Medina's 6 wells exceed the recommended manganese level by over 300%, with one exceeding guidance by more than 1,000%. So enhancing treatment capacity and filtration is critical to protecting public health and ensuring compliance with state guidelines. The Medina Water Treatment Plant is located at 7800 Tower Drive and is currently operating at its maximum capacity with 2 filters and is only just able to meet existing demand. The addition of the third filter will provide needed redundancy, improve treatment reliability, and allow the city to consistently meet both demand and water quality standards. In addition, recently, Wayzata Schools passed a referendum to add 2 new schools within the city of Medina, which will add roughly around 1,800 students. So that's going to increase more demand on the city's water treatment capabilities. Our current project timeline is we just started design in April of 2024, and that concluded in December of 2024. Construction started in January of last year with the new filter being installed in January of this year. We expect the completion of this project in the June timeframe. And upon completion, the upgrade facility will be capable of delivering 3 million gallons of water daily, ensuring a safe, reliable, and future-ready water supply for the city of Medina. Thank you.
Okay, well, we are out of time. Members, if you have questions, please take them off record. Thank you, Chair
ma'am.
Robbins. Next up, Representative Igo. We are on a tight schedule, members. Representative Igo, to-year bill for the city of Tamarack.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Capital Investment Committee. With me today, I have the city of Tamarack, who's here requesting $2 million in additional bonding to finish some much-needed repairs to their water infrastructure system in the city of Tamarack. It's a really important community in northern Aiken County that supports many of the rural communities and is a hub for a lot of regional recreational activities, as well as community festivals. But with me today, I'll let the city present the bill in more of its entirety.
Mayor, you may state your name for the record and proceed.
Good
Welcome.
morning, Co-Chair Frenzen and Lee, and members of the Capital Investment Committee. My name is John Cyrus. I am the mayor of the city of Tamarack, a resilient community in northern Minnesota where our lakes, forests, and neighbors are the heartbeat of our lives. I stand before you today not just as a leader,
Do Gander next.
but as a neighbor pleading for help to save our town from a crisis that's spiraling out of control, spiraling out of control. Wastewater systems that endanger our health, our environment, and our very existence. Our centralized wastewater treatment facility is no longer just outdated. It is a ticking time bomb. We recorded 107 permit violations in key parameters, including repeating exceedance of fecal chloroform, putting public health at risk, and polluting the waters we cherish. These failures have us staring down monumental civil penalties from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, which has issued a stipulation agreement demanding compliance. We've fought hard, but even running the system as designed, its falls short. The Minnesota Rural Water Association conducted a comprehensive on-site assessment of both the treatment and collection system, presenting their findings to us and the MPCA. This report was eye-opening. Our treatment system requires additional components, chemical additions, and near constant monitoring to meet standards. Upgrading, we will simply can't afford to staff without external support. The problem extends to our collection system, which has deteriorated dramatically. From just 12% of flow capacity right after installation in 2019 to nearly 90% today. Surrounded by dense vegetation, our grinder pumps serving all 43 residential collections are crumbling, allowing massive infiltration. In colder months when the vegetation can't uptake groundwater, levels rise and flood the aging stations, sending excessive flow straight through our system and overwhelming it further. This isn't just technical, it's a daily battle that's bleeding us dry. Financially, we're on the brink of maintenance, and contract operations have surged from $221,000 in 21 to $298,000 in 24. And at this rate, Tamarack could be bankrupt in about 2 years. We're already at the affordability gap for sewer rates, charging $47 a month in a community where the median income is $42,083, well below the state average. 85% of us are lower in moderate income, 19% live in poverty. Without bonding support, we'd have to raise our rates to $144 a month, crushing burden families. That's why we're urging request of $2 million in Minnesota legislative bonding funds to leverage federal, state, and regional support. Then this investment will fund the
Sir?
critical upgrades.
Mayor, we're out of time.
Okay.
So members, if you have questions, you'll have to
Thank you
take
for
them
your
off.
time.
Time, all right. Thank you, Chair Igo.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next up, we have Representative Gander for the City of East Grand Forks. And testifiers, please remember that members may want to ask questions, so you don't have to take the entire 4 minutes for your testimony. Please allow time for questions. Representative Gander, to your bill, and welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Franz and Co-Chair Lee and members. I did bring double treats because I have two bills before you here today. So the bill before you today, House File is 3757. It's a bill to establish a Setting for Educational Learning Center in northwest Minnesota. This facility will help educate children with high behavioral needs. You can see by our handout, there's an entire region of our state that does not have these services available. Once this facility is completed, it'll serve 11 school districts and possibly 2 more that could come on board later on. Senator Mark Johnson and I had the pleasure of serving as principal for a day at one of our local elementary schools, one that does not have access to level 4 type educational setting. And what we found is that trying to educate these high behavioral needs mixed in with all the rest of the kids is virtually impossible. Nobody does well in that situation whatsoever. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Tiffany Littman, our testifier, to give you more details about the project.
Ms. Littman, thank you. Welcome to the committee. You may state your name for the record and proceed.
Thank you. My name is Tiffany Littman, and I serve as Executive Director of the Area Special Education Cooperative in Northwest Minnesota. Good morning, Chair Franson, Co-Chair Lee, and members of the committee. Thank you for this opportunity to testify, and thank you to Representative Gander, Burkle, and Senator Johnson for helping author bills, including House File 3757. I am here today on behalf of ASIC, our member districts, and most importantly, the students and families in Northwest Minnesota who need access to therapeutic and specialized educational services closer to home. This is our 3rd year before this committee, and the message remains the same. Our students are still waiting. Many of you are familiar with cooperative districts. ASIC serves 11 member districts across 3,300 square miles and supports more than 1,300 students from birth through age 22. House File 3757 is not a single district request. It is a regional solution to a clear regional need. Many of the students we serve have complex disabilities, mental health needs, or adverse childhood experiences that affect their ability to succeed in traditional school environments. They need a therapeutic, evidence-based setting that can support their academic, social, and behavioral needs. We are asking for your support of a $6.5 million bonding request for the ASIC Educational Learning Center. This public facility will provide early intervention services, intensive special education programming, and transition support for students with the most significant needs. Right now, we have students in our cooperative who are waiting for care treatment placements across the state because we have nothing locally that's closer to home. In the meantime, districts are piecing together services in places like local courthouses and social services buildings. These are not settings designed for learning or long-term success. This project is a long-term public investment in Northwest Minnesota students. Our member districts have already committed roughly 1/3 of the project cost through cooperative lease levy authority, and a community partner has dedicated land as a potential building site. We are asking the state to partner with us to make this a regional solution that's possible. On behalf of ASIC, I respectfully ask for your support of House File 3757 and this $6.5 million bonding request so students with the most significant needs can access services that they need in their own communities. Thank you for your time, your leadership, and especially your commitment to Minnesota students.
Thank you. Members, we have 28 seconds. Does anybody have any questions? No? All right, to your bill, Representative Gander.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Co-Chair, and members. And Tiffany, thank you for that wonderful testimony. But now you see the unmet need for these Setting for Educational Services in Northwest Minnesota. I would appreciate your support in allocating funding for this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Gander. All right, next up, we are going to take, oh, he's got one more? Okay, Representative Gander, Sand Hill River. Please state your name for the record and proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Co-Chair, and members. I'm Representative Steve Gander, 1B. The bill before you today now, the next bill is House File 3569. It's a bill to bring an essential flood control pump up to current Minnesota DNR standards in order to prevent the spread of zebra mussels and potentially other invasive species. The upgrade of this pump system will benefit adjacent residents along with everyone else downstream from Union Lake and Lake Sarah through the watershed. The project will also prevent backflow from septic systems and preserve overall water quality. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to my testifiers, Lonnie Parody and April Swenby, for a more detailed report of the project.
Okay, so I'm April Swenby. Thank you, Madam Chair and committee members, for allowing us to testify today. I'm the administrator for the Hill River Watershed District, but more importantly, I'm here as an advocate for the landowners that I serve and represent. I've traveled over 4.5 hours to get here today to be present in front of you because I feel really strongly that this issue matters, not just locally, but for the protection of our public resource. And I feel like, and I firmly believe that this financial burden is not just a local burden alone. Union Lake and Lake Sarah are public waters with no natural outlet, and when water levels rise, the consequences are very serious. Flooding risks, septic system failures, shoreline erosion, and long-term water quality impacts are truly devastating. But beyond that, we all know flooding is very personal. It means that these families can watch water levels rise towards their homes. These parents are trying to reassure their children while their yards and sometimes their basements fill with water. It's stressful, it's financial hardships, it's all of those things. And in the late 90s and early 2000s, the landowners there took responsibility for that, built this infrastructure so that they never had to go through this devastation again. And the project is not theoretical, it's proven. But today it sits inoperable. Not because it's failed, but because the rules changed in the state of Minnesota. When zebra mussels were introduced into the lake, the state requirements made this system unusable without costly upgrades. And yet this happened. The landowners have already paid for this infrastructure, and now they're being asked to be paying for this one more time, and it's a multi-million-dollar upgrade. But it's tied to a public waters where the whole public is able to use this recreational resource. So this matter is a one of fairness, and it matters far more than this just to landowners. This is our local economy. Our school systems depend on this lake. Our recreation depends on this lake. And so I just want to be clear that doing nothing is not a viable option. Doing nothing would be an irresponsible option, and we need to protect our water resources. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Lonnie Parody. Thank you, Madam Chair and committee members.
All right, we've got a minute to go. Please state your name for the record and proceed.
Madam Chair, Lonnie Parody, I'm on the Union Lake Sarah board. It's something to add to April's comments. The screen that was installed at that time, it was set for zebra mussels. I don't have any proof of that, but it was asked. The reason why the screen was put in because of milfoil. It was asked at that time, the board members asked, the construction company asked about it. Now it's not. That's my comments, I guess.
All right, thank you. Members, do we have any questions? No questions? To your bill, Representative Gander.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Co-Chair. And you can see it's the changing standards that make this a requirement for us. But now you can see the importance of controlling the levels of Union Lake and Lake Sarah, both for the adjacent residents, for everyone downstream. So this project will accomplish that task while helping to contain zebra mussels and other potentially invasive species from overwhelming area lakes, streams, and rivers. Would appreciate your support for this effort. Thank you.
All right, thank you, and thank you for making your way down here. Next up, we're going to take Chair Torkelson. Torkelson. Yes, ma'am. Torkelson. Careful. Torkelson.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I was beginning to think there was no humor in this room. Now,
I'm warming up.
you're running such a tight ship,
I know,
Madam Chair.
warming up.
Very, very impressed with your efficiency.
Thank you.
I didn't realize I was next, or I would have been right here waiting.
I'm sure you would have.
You know
All
it.
right.
Madam Chair, come on up, testifiers, you're more important than I am. House File 4927 is a bill to help us get the Hanska water tower replaced. We have suddenly developed a leak, and I'll allow my testifiers to give you the real information.
All right, you may state your name for the record and proceed, whomever wants to go first.
I am Chris Fisher. I serve as the city clerk of the city of Hanska. Good morning, Chairman Franson and Co-Chair Lee and members. My name, again, is Chris Fisher. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today in support of House File 4927. In short, the City of Hanska's drinking water and wastewater systems are at a breaking point. Our infrastructure is decades old and increasingly unreliable. Our systems face multiple compounding failures that present serious risks to public health, system reliability, and long-term affordability. More critical, however, our existing water tower is failing. The interior coatings are deteriorating and structure leaks frequently, and it contains lead-based paint. The City of Hanska is planning a comprehensive, cost-effective solution. The new water tower is the first and most important priority of this entire effort. Without it, we cannot ensure pressure, storage, or fire protection, and the rest of the system improvements cannot function as intended. This project is ready to move forward. Hanska has completed a preliminary engineering report. The project has been reviewed and scored by the PFA and the Department of Health and was included on the 2026 IUP. And as I'm sure you know, water towers do not tend to score well on that scale, which is why we are here today asking for your support. For the city of 380 residents, this project, which is essential for public health and safety, is far beyond what the local tax base can support. State investment through the capital investment process allows small cities like Hanska to address critical infrastructure needs while keeping rates affordable and protecting public health. Chairs and members, I respectfully ask for your support of House File 4927. Thank you, and I will turn it over to the mayor.
All right. Mayor Paulson, you may state your name for the record and proceed.
Dan Paulson, Mayor of the City of Hanska. Good morning, Chair Lee, Chair Franson, and members. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today in support of House File 4927. Hanska is a strong community, and we take pride in our town, and we take seriously responsibility planning for its future. Over the past several years, the city has worked hard to be proactive. We invested in a preliminary engineering report to fully understand the condition of our water and wastewater systems to develop a responsible long-term plan. As we were doing that planning, we experienced exactly the kind of situation we were trying to prepare for. One of our wells failed, and we had to replace it. We couldn't wait for funding. We had to move forward and take on that cost ourselves to keep water service going. That experience reinforced that in a small town like ours, when critical infrastructure fails unexpectedly, there isn't a cushion. We need to plan ahead and make improvements before failures leave us with no choice. That is where we are today with our water tower. We are requesting $2.5 million in state support to construct a new water tower. Our existing tower is failing, and in just the past 6 months, we have experienced 2 major leaks. This is an emergency situation, and we're already seeing the impacts of that deterioration. We have a plan to address the rest of our water and wastewater system needs, but without funding to replace the water tower, we will not be able to be in a position to move forward. For a city of our size, the cost of these infrastructure improvements are far beyond what our local tax base can reasonably support.
All right. Well, thank you so much for presenting on your bill. Members, if you have questions, you'll have to take them offline. Thank you, Chair Torkelson, for presenting your bill.
Thank you, Chair Franson and Chair Lee. I appreciate your hearing this bill.
You're welcome. Next up, we have Representative Heintzeman, and again, testifiers, you have 4 minutes. That includes, I don't like cutting people off, so you're gonna have to speak a little faster if it's a very long speech. Representative Heintzeman, welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Glad to be here.
You may state your name for the record and proceed.
Representative Josh Heintzeman and friends, I have before you the Local Government Wetland Replacement Program. It's a great example of how different levels of government can work more efficiently. The program is coordinated by Bowser, who oversees a statewide bank of wetland credits that local governments can access when conducting road reconstruction projects. This streamlines their permitting process and saves time and money. It also facilitates the construction of better wetland habitats. As you might imagine, when it's not a patchwork and you're just working on a large area that can be significantly better than the alternative. However, the program only works when there is enough funding to sustain and maintain the credit bank, and unfortunately, we haven't kept up with the need. Over the last 4 years, the legislature has only provided the equivalent of 1 year's worth of funding. There is a handout in your packet, and if you wanted to take a look at it, you'd be able to see that half of the 10 credit banks have less, like I alluded to earlier, than 1 year's supply of credits. If there are not enough available project sponsors will need to find them on the private market, adding significant cost and delay. That's why this bill is before you today, supported by 9 county, city, and township groups, as well as the Minnesota Transportation Alliance. With me today, one virtually, are representatives of the city and county engineers who can speak to the consequences of inaction.
Okay, we have 2 minutes. You may state your name for the record and proceed.
Good morning, Chair Franzen, Co-Chair Lee, and members of the committee. And again, thank you, Representative Heintzeman, for bringing this bill forward. My name is Tony Winnicky. I'm the Scott County Highway Engineer, and today I'm here on behalf of the Minnesota County Engineers Association, Association of Minnesota Counties, and Minnesota Inter-County Association to speak in support of House File 4507. Minnesota counties have jurisdiction over more than 44,000 of the state's 143,000 miles of roadways and highways, and local governments oversee approximately 80% of all bridges in the state. Since the late 90s, counties rely on streamlining provided through the local government road wetland replacement program, and as we prepare improvements to our road system. Years of underfunding and no funding have left several of the state's 10 bank service areas in need. Based on wetland credits available, current projections show that the program will reach the end of its funding in 2031 or 32. A recent analysis by the Board of Water and Soil Resources, Bowser, identified a $35 million need to overcome the credit deficit and annual funding of over $9 million to maintain and support the program. It should be noted that to restore wetlands and receive related regulatory approvals typically takes 7 to 10 years. In essence, House File 4507, if enacted, provides for projects that will be scheduled for reconstruction well into the 2030s. This bill will positively move the needle in the right direction. We thank you for allowing testimony, and on behalf of the Minnesota County Engineers Association, we respectfully ask for support of House File 4507.
All right, we have a testifier online. You have less than 30 seconds, and then you're done.
Thank you, co-chairs, members of the committee, and Representative Heintzeman. I'd just like to highlight 2 examples to illustrate some of the challenges. A current example in Lakeville illustrates this clearly. On the south side of the city, we have roughly 1,500 acres of developing land bordered by Interstate 35, Lake Marion, and a rural multi-jurisdictional 2-lane roadway. To serve this area safely and efficiently, an east-west corridor is essential. It must connect to local, county, and state transportation systems and provide access to Lakeville's 340-acre community park. But designing this corridor requires crossing extensive wetlands, and there's no alignment that avoids impacts without creating significant safety, access, or engineering problems.
All right, and we are out of time. Representative Heintzeman, I do apologize. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for coming down.
Your time.
All right, next up we have, who are we doing next? Representative Jacob.
Yep.
Please make your way up, walk fast, and speak fast. Then we'll have Representative Murphy unless Representative Zeleznikar shows up. All right, please state your name for the record and proceed. Please state your name for the record and proceed.
My goodness, you're on a tight ship. Yes, Representative Jacob here, District 20B. Thank you, Chair Franzen, Chair Lee, members of the committee for hearing our House File 4757 today. I'd note that this is the 4th year that the North Sunboro Sanitary Sewer District bill has been seeking funds for the districts of Representative Altendorf, Representative Keith Allen, Representative Kim Hicks, and my district, 20B. The bill before us today seeks to remove uncertainty and create additional transparency for the city's proposing multi-community projects. With me today, I have City Administrator Elizabeth Howard from Pine Island and Zumbrota engineer Bill Angerman. So I will let them speak.
All right, please state your name for the record and proceed.
Elizabeth Howard, co-chairs Francie and Lee. Thank you for giving us the time today to appear before you. I'm the city administrator for the city of Pine Island and serve as the chair of the executive committee for the North Zumbro Sanitary Sewer District, which is an initiative between the cities of Goodhue, Pine Island, Wanamingo, and Zumbrota, and also includes the Prairie Island Indian community. Our communities have been working towards consolidating our wastewater treatment facilities into one large-scale facility. We are in the final stages of design work and have secured the land for our joint facility and are hoping to set a standard for collaboration between cities of Minnesota for infrastructure needs. However, as our project progresses, we continue to hit roadblocks due to our collaboration. Our communities are eligible for point source implementation grants, commonly known as PSIG, through the MPCA. As our permits are in the final stages of approval from MPCA, we are getting so close to securing the funding needed to kick off this project. But our fear is that once our project is ready to go, funding will not be available from PSIG at the same time. If other cities with a ranking between any of our cities are approved for funding, it could hold up our entire project. We are asking for you to support collaboration between Minnesota cities. House File 4757 will allow governmental units who are collaborating on joint projects and would rank and place the total project at the position of the highest ranking governmental unit. This would allow all partners within the project to receive funding at the same time. I thank you for your time and strongly encourage you to support House File 4757 to not only benefit our project, but will benefit all communities of Minnesota who are working together to provide cost savings collaborative projects to our residents.
All right. All right, any member questions? Representative Skraba.
Thank you. Yes, Representative Jacob, it's been 4 years, I believe.
Yep.
We first, hello again, from Ely. Good person. Is the tribe still involved in this? Prairie Island people, are they still part of
Yes.
the mix?
Yep. Mhm.
Good. All right,
Representative
thank you.
Jacob, okay.
Thank you.
All right, any other further questions? All right, seeing none, Representative Jacob, to your bill.
Yeah, I appreciate your support on this. Through an economy of scale, this would certainly save taxpayers dollars by not having each one of these communities build their own wastewater treatment system. It would be better for our environment by having just one point of discharge, and certainly reduce the number of employees that taxpayers would have to support. So this is a good project, and I appreciate your support.
All
Thank
right, thank you, and thank you for making your way down. Representative Murphy, up deck, you're on deck. And then. Then we'll go from there. Yeah, did you text Natalie? Yeah. All right, please state your name for the record and proceed. Thank you, Representative Murphy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Chair Lee. My name's Tom Murphy, Representative Tom Murphy, House District 9B. I'm here to talk to you about House Bill 4747. This is a unique project. We're at the end of a process of really good infrastructure in Perham, Minnesota, where we've taken solid waste and we burn it up to create a lot of benefits. We burn up PFAS, we eliminate, or are going to have goals of eliminating our landfills. We have a situation where we power using steam, we power area businesses, and now we're getting to the final stages after a successful pilot in 2025 that allows us to use the ash in our roadbeds. I sit on the House Transportation Committee as well. This is something that has a benefit to Minnesota, and this is a great example of how that infrastructure works. So I want to have my testifiers tell you a little bit more about the project.
All right, you may state your name for the record and proceed. Welcome.
Thank you, Co-Chairs Franson and Lee and members of the committee. My name is Chris McCon, Executive Director of the Prairie Lakes Municipal Solid Waste Authority. Prairie Lakes operates a waste-to-energy facility, and we are proud to be the third facility in Minnesota to be authorized by the MPCA to use combustor ash in road construction materials. In 2025, we completed our successful pilot project in Ottertail County, reusing 3,000 tons of ash in approximately 3 miles of Highway 75. We now want to build a full-scale ash processing facility to reuse all our ash. The proposed facility would remove oversized material and both ferrous and non-ferrous metals, producing a cleaner, higher quality material suitable for road base. With full processing, we will recycle up to 1,000 additional tons of metal annually, meeting the expectations of our county road partners. Unlike transportation, water, and wastewater infrastructure, waste management infrastructure does not have dedicated state or federal funding programs such as MnDOT, FHWA, USDA Rural Development, or the Public Facilities Authority. The only program we're aware of is the MPCA CAP Grant Program, or Capital Assistance Program. We submitted a CAP application in 2025 and received the highest rating of all applications. Number one, while MPCA recommended the project for funding, it is not currently included in the governor's budget. We would like you to consider that funding to help us make our projects affordable. Thank you for your time, and I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Bill Stearns.
Commissioner, you may state your name for the record and proceed. Welcome.
My name is William Stearns. I'm a Wadena County Commissioner. This is my 24th year as a Wadena County Commissioner, and I enjoy it. What's a Wadena County Commissioner doing testifying for Ottertail County? Well, this is a project that's owned by 5 counties. Wadena County owns 10% of the facility, or I say we own 10% of the debt, however you want to call it. This facility will process the ash, and the MPCA, I can't say enough good things about the MPCA. They've been with us the whole 9 yards, all for 20 years. Every month, they send a person to our meeting. We meet once a month, and the MPCA is at that meeting every month. They were in person before COVID, but now it's obviously Zoom. But they've just been stellar. They helped us put the MRV in front of the front so we'd clean our fuel. We got rid of the tin cans and the plastic and all the other stuff, the ferrous, non-ferrous, and that MRV gets rid of that, so our fuel is even cleaner. And now we're going to work at the back end with the ash. We know it contains no PFAS, and it's good. That's it. Thank you, Chair Franson.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Representative Murphy, for testifying today for your project. Appreciate that.
Thank you. One other thing, I do have some treats here today, and I
Oh,
forgot
you
to
do?
mention it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next up, Representative Skraba. You have 3 bills. Brought one of my faves, I see. The mayor. Love it.
We have first bill is Crane Lake, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And we, on Zoom.
Okay, so well, we're up doing Ely right now, 3561.
Oh, you want to do Ely first?
It's in order.
Okay. Ely's first. Then,
Then we are gonna do Cook and Crane Lake last.
all right. I will be with you in 1 second.
It is your 4 minutes. Roger, use them as
Oh,
you
I'm
see fit.
fully aware of that, Chair. There.
Probably won't get to them.
Yeah, Chair Franson and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to present today. I'm here to present House File 3561 on behalf of the City of Ely, an essential water infrastructure project that gets to the core of public safety and reliability of the community. I'm going to let Operations Director Harold Langowski and Mayor Heidi Omerza speak to the rest. Thank you.
That probably killed you to say that, too.
No, no.
You may state your name for the record and proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair Franzen and Co-Chair Lee. My name is Harold Langowski. I'm the City Clerk Treasurer Operations Director. The project, as Representative Skraba described, is a water infrastructure project. If you look at our one-page handout, I think most importantly is look at the picture on the back. I think Ely has something unique, and it's maybe not unique in the best way. We have a water line that is 5 miles long from our water supply to our water treatment plant. And this is a portion that crosses over the Burnside River. Why is our water supply 5 miles from Ely? It's some of the cleanest surface water, raw water in the state. So that's why the water intake is so far away. Problem being, the pump house was put out there in 1932. Much of the infrastructure, is pushing 92 years old, over 92 years old now. And we're seeing some deficiencies. We're seeing some breaks. When it comes to security, pretty tough to guard against any potential, impacts when your water line is exposed above a river sitting on wooden pilings. So that is a big portion of this project, replacing infrastructure that's pushing 95 years old. We have had significant breaks in the last couple of years, one requiring a boil order and killing water supply to the entire town. So that is very problematic. Our overall project cost is $8.8 million. We've secured $4.9 million in funding. So the request we have is about 44% of the project. So I'd like to turn the rest of our presentation over to Mayor Mirza to explain the impacts on our residents and ratepayers.
Mayor, you may state your name for the record and proceed. Welcome.
Wonderful. Heidi Omerza, Mayor of Ely. Our current need is $3.9 million, or 44% of the project. Ely is low to moderate income, and we're eligible for CDBG funds. Our medium household income is $43,000.9, which is 50% of the statewide MHI. Our current water rates affordability exceeds affordability of an index of 1.2. Our water rates have increased 22% in the past two years to cover our necessary debt. Without additional state assistance, the entire project will not be done. It'll have to be sectioned out, and the cost of the project will just go up. And our tax rates, payers just cannot afford that. Our city can't afford that. We need to proceed with bidding. That's just the bottom line. It is a priority for our city, our utility commission, our fire department, and our economic development authority, and it has been for many years. We truly appreciate all of you visiting Ely this summer. It was a fun trip, and again, we love having visitors and tourists. That's why we need water for not only us, but for our tourists.
Thank you, Mayor. Members, any questions? Representative Carroll?
Thank you, Chair. Actually, it's more of a comment. I just wanted to welcome my all-time favorite mayor.
She is special.
Gee, thanks. You mayor too?
He was.
Oh my gosh, well, she's still my all-time favorite. No, I've known her for a while from the League of Minnesota State.
Okay,
See her and say hi.
Thank you.
nice. All right, we are out of time. Representative Skraba, thank you for making your way down here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next up, you have the City
Thank you.
of Cook.
Thank you, Chair Franzen. We have the City of Cook coming to the mayor and a member of the engineering firm working on the project, Mayor Dan Manick, and, Luke Heikkila, a Finlander, right?
You got it.
I got it. Thank you, Madam Chair. City of Cook is a small community on Highway 53 on your way to Canada from here. It is a community on a river prone to flooding and fixing all the problems associated with that. And I'm here to present File 4014, a critical infrastructure request on behalf of the city. The project focuses on much-needed water and wastewater system improvements that are essential to maintaining public health, meeting regulatory requirements, and meeting economic activity of the region. I'm going to let these two gentlemen discuss the project.
All right, you may state your name for the record and proceed. Welcome.
Daniel Manick, Mayor of Cook. Thank you, Chair Franzen, Co-Chair Lee, and committee members. The weight of the 530 residents of the city of Cook is on my back. This is the first time in 100 years that somebody has come to testify for general obligation bonds, so I'll do my best. So the two-page handout we probably could have changed it to critical water and sewer infrastructure. We had a severe flood in 2024, and since that time, we have our infiltration and inflow has increased significantly. Engineering firms can speak more technical of what happens, but once our wastewater system is overflowing with the I&I, rainwater and everything, we have no alternative but to pump the raw sewage into the Little Fork River. It is currently happening. You know, I became the mayor last year, so I've been here 14 months. Last summer, I stopped and visited with our public works crew. They had a manhole cover open, and I said, "What are you guys doing?" Well, we had 2.5 inches of rain. We are pumping, our alarms go off, our sewer system is compromised. We're pumping sewage into the Little Fork River.
the regional aspect of that environmental concern. Little Fork River dumps into the Rainy River. The Rainy River dumps into Lake of the Woods. You know, so we have identified some failing clay tile underneath the Little Fork River. Part of this project is maybe $1.2 million is to correct some of the problems with our failing ponds and our failing sewer system. The other part of the project is economic. It's a utilities extension to some underserved as far as water and sewer. Hill Wood Products has been in business since 1957. They're in city limits. They don't have city water and sewer. They employ 36 people. They have an expansion on hold, waiting. If they could get city water and sewer, they would double the size of the workforce. Those are year-round jobs that we drastically need. We are a tourist town. A couple other businesses on the route. One of them employs 6 people. It's an auto parts thing. They have a porta-john outside of their business for 6 years. You just discover these things when you're the mayor, like, why is a porta-john outside one of our businesses? So I'm sure there's going to be questions, but I did also, St. Louis County Commissioner Jugovich asked me to stop at Toby's, and it's an Iron Range treat, Petitza. So I didn't have time to go to a typical Iron Range establishments, but Toby's has Petitza that does originate from the city of Aurora. So nothing brings Democrats and Republicans together better than an Iron Range treat. So you have to supply your own butter. We'll leave it with Representative Skraba. Thank you for your
Well,
time.
I think the commissioner also knows nothing makes the chair happier than Petitza, so.
So it worked. Thank you, Chair.
Commissioner. Thank you. All right, thank you for testifying today. We appreciate your time. Thanks for making your way down here.
Thank you.
Representative Skraba, Crane Lake.
Crane Lake, I believe that is going to be Zoomed.
Okay, should we just,
Dina Congdon
okay.
is our testifier. Okay, thank you.
All right, Ms. Congdon, if you want to.
I'll lead into it, then I'll get her on.
Okay.
If that's okay, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Chair Franzen and Chair Lee and members, thank you for the opportunity to present today. I'm here to present House File 3561 on behalf, take that back. On House File 4013, modest but important request on behalf of the Crane Lake Water and Sanitary District. Crane Lake sits on the Canadian border and serves as a gateway to the Voyageurs National Park, the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness, and the St. Superior National Forest, places that are central to our region's economy, recreation, and way of life, our culture. This project is about maintaining, upgrading an essential wastewater infrastructure project that has already proven its value. With relatively limited investment, we can modernize an aging system, reduce long-term operating costs, and ensure it continues to function effectively for both residents and the thousands of visitors who rely on the area each year. And from that, I'll let Crane Lake Water and Sanitary District member Dina Congdon explain the city's, the town's issue. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Congdon, you may state your name for the record and proceed. Welcome.
Chair Franzen and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Dina Congdon with the Crane Lake Water and Sanitary District, and I apologize for not being there in person. I want to thank Roger Skraba for representing this important bill. Crane Lake is small and incredibly important community located at the Canadian border, directly adjacent to the Voyageurs National Park, the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness, and the Superior National Forest. It's truly a gateway to some of Minnesota's most treasured outdoor destinations. More than 2 decades ago, residents came together to establish the Crane Lake Water and Sanitary District. Our goal was simple but critical: protect the waters flowing into the Voyageurs National Park, our nation's only water-based national park. That investment has paid off. The system has significantly improved water quality in the region and supported both the local community and the many visitors who depend on these clean waters for recreation and tourism. However, today the system is showing its age. Key equipment and components are nearing the end of their service life. The existing treatment system is highly labor-intensive, which creates real challenges for a small district with limited staff. At the same time, newer technologies now exist that can improve efficiency, reduce operating costs, and extend the life of this facility. House File 4013 provides a modest but important $170,000 investment to modernize the system Upgrades include improvements to mechanical systems, monitoring and controlling technology and treatment process, helping automate operations and ensure long-term reliability. This is not about building something new. It's about preserving and improving an existing system that already delivers results. We can extend the life of the facility, reduce long-term costs, support a small community with limited resources, and continue protecting the waters that drive recreation and economic activity in northern Minnesota. For a relatively small investment, the return is significant both for the residents of Crane Lake and the thousands of visitors who experience this region every year. Chair Franson and members, thank you again for your consideration. We respectfully ask for the support of House File 4013.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Representative Skraba, to your bill.
Yes, thank you. Interesting about Crane Lake, the original person that was going to testify had some heart issues, and he gave it to a board member who was all ready to come to do, and then he got a heart issue. And then we got Dina to step in at the last minute. We're talking about a small community, so it's very tight-knit. If you've ever been to Crane Lake, this system fixed an issue. It lives on the lake of Crane Lake, literally water house. So there was no place for septics and that. So this system is very needed. And it needs an upgrade. It's not a lot of money, but it's something we can all get behind. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, next up, Representative Myers, you have 2 bills up for Spring Park. All right, you may state your name for the record and proceed. Welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Chair Franson. Andrew Myers, I represent 11 cities in the west metro of Hennepin County, and one of those cities is Spring Park, runs right through the heart of my district. The city is comprised of about 72% of apartments as well as multifamily, 25%. Single-family homes. And so we have 2 bills today. The first bill is asking for roughly $3 million to help replace water and storm sewer. An investment from the state would really have a dramatic impact on this community, and I will let my testifier take it.
You may state your name for the record and proceed. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Mark Chase, Mayor of Spring Park. I've also got Council Member Caroline Suttle here for support, although she won't be testifying. And I just have a quick statement for House File 4689 and 4766. Spring Park's community of roughly 1,850 residents on Lake Minnetonka, and while we're located on the lake, our community looks very different than many might expect. Approximately 75% of our housing is multifamily, average rents around $1,500 per month, and we're home to many renters, seniors, and residents on fixed or moderate income, including a large senior living community. Because of this, the burden of maintaining and replacing aging infrastructure falls heavily on residents who often are least able to absorb it. Over the past 3 years, our average annual levy increase has been over 12% alongside additional county increases, and we've implemented planned water and sewer rate increases averaging 10% annually over the next 5 years. These are necessary investments, but they create real financial pressure on our residents. Without state partnership, we do not expect these cost pressures to ease in the near term. At the same time, Spring Park has consistently invested in its infrastructure and has not deferred the responsibilities. Over the past 5 years, we've completed multiple roadway and utility improvement projects, including West Arm Road West, Warren Avenue, and Black Lake Road, representing about an annual local investment of $6.5 million in sewer, water, and roadway infrastructure. We're now continuing that work with improvements on Sunset Drive and a necessary water tower and water treatment plant rehabilitation. We're requesting state partnership of $3,078,000 for water and sewer improvements along Sunset Drive and $1 million towards the rehabilitation of our water tower and water treatment plant. These are not expansion projects, they're essential replacements of aging infrastructure that supports public health, water quality, and fire protection in a dense, heavily utilized area along Lake Minnetonka. While Spring Park is a small city, our infrastructure serves a dense population, a regionally significant area. State partnership will help ensure these systems remain safe and reliable without placing undue burden on our residents. We respectfully ask for your support on these bonding requests. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Did the councilwoman have anything to add?
I don't, but thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Members, any questions? Seeing none, all right. Thank you, Representative Myers, to your bill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Franson. Just asking for your members' support.
All right, awesome. Next up, you have House File 4766 for Spring Park.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, 4766, again, Spring Park, this is in regards to a $1 million ask for a water tower. Again, I think you've heard about the impact in the community. You know, heart of my district impacts a lot of different individuals, and we're asking for $1 million. And I don't know if either testifier wanted to add something specific to that or not.
Nope, my original statement included the water tower ask, and that's all I have.
All right, awesome. Members, any questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you for your time. Thank you for making your way down to the Capitol. We appreciate you. Members, we're going to go to a brief recess, and what? And we will be back in a minute, okay? Is over. Sorry, it's like being in elementary school. You get outside and right away you got to get back in. All right. Representative Zeleznikar, you may state your name for the record and proceed for your city of Hermantown. Yes, Herman.
Thank you, Chair Franson. I'm Representative Natalie Zeleznikar, here to introduce House File 4788, which is the Essentia Wellness Center expansion funding. We are a growing community, and as we continue to expand, so does the need for quality childcare. The childcare center is full that is there. This proposal adds an expansion to the wellness center to add more than 15,000 square feet for workforce demands, supporting working families across the region, and childcare, which you all know is quite critical right now. I sit on the Children and Families Committee too. So today with me is City Administrator John Mulder and Deputy Administrator Joe Wickland. I will defer to them.
All right, you may state your name for the record and proceed.
My name is John Mulder. I'm the City Administrator for the City of Hermantown. Thank you, Chair Franson and committee members, to opportunity to talk to you about our request to expand the Essentia Wellness Center, and specifically as it relates to childcare. The Essentia Wellness Center is a city-owned building owned and operated by the Lake Superior YMCA, and they operate a childcare facility that currently has about 115 spots for children. Those spots filled up within 18 months of opening, and we now have a waiting list of over 400 children looking for childcare. So we are asking for bonding money to expand that childcare opportunity, and the city would cover the rest of those costs through its local sales tax. The Essentia Wellness Center was opened in 2019 and has proven to be a success beyond anybody's imagination. We had membership greater than, we expected membership at the 5-year level, actually happened at 6 months. And we expected the child care center to be filled up, over years, but it filled up almost immediately. And so we were looking to expand that facility to include additional child care units.
All right, you may state your name for the record and proceed.
Joe Wickland, Assistant City Administrator. Because there is momentum, thank you, Chair and members of the committee for hearing us out. Because there is momentum in Hermantown around these types of things, not only the facility itself, but also around job creation and housing, unlike we're seeing in other areas in northeastern Minnesota. That's part of why the ask exists to expand a facility that just opened in 2019. There's a bit of momentum around those types of things. In terms of job creation and housing, we would like to continue that, but we know the childcare is often the third leg of that stool. And if we have a wait list of 400 and we're not able to make that dent, both in Hermantown, Duluth, and our adjacent regions are going to struggle to pull in families, both in those job opportunities that we expect to see and are seeing in Hermantown, as well as housing growth. Thanks.
Okay. Representative Carroll?
Thank you, Chair. Quick question for Representative Zeleznikar. Good to see you. What is the rate of your local option sales tax?
You may proceed.
Half percent.
Oh, yeah, I just said that, sorry. Just. Thank you, Chair Franson, and thank you for the question, 1.5.
1.5? And Chair?
Representative Carroll?
How much does it bring in a year, and how long have you had it?
And Representative Zeleznikar?
Thank you, Chair Franson, thank you for the question. I'm going to defer to the city administrators for that, thanks.
All right, you may proceed.
So, Chair and Representative Carroll, the sales tax has been in place, I want to say 1999, and has funded the city's current office facilities, water and sewer, and the wellness center. And we collect approximately $4.5 million a year. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Any other further member questions? Okay, seeing none, final thoughts.
Thank you, Chair Franson and members, for considering this. My predecessor, Representative Mary Murphy, worked very hard on this facility. If you've been to Hermantown, you know we don't have a traditional Main Street. This has become a hub for the community. And I see this being an intergenerational programming for seniors, childcare for the region, which is really critical. It's by the schools, it's centrally located, and it's becoming an area for people to be connected in the community, which is wonderful to see. So thank you for considering it.
All right, thank you. And members, that wraps up today's exciting committee hearing. Thank you to everybody who participated. Next week, we will be meeting, and Chair Lee will have the gavel on April 21st. And, we still have to approve the minutes. And Vice Chair Frederick, how would you like to do that?
I move the minutes, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right, any questions, comments, concerns? All right, seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. Any opposition? Okay. Nope, that's it. Minutes are approved, and today's meeting is adjourned.